Yo, what is good, everybody? It is your boy, Golden Falls, Golden What Ifs, whatever you want to call me, and I am back. This is part 2 of 2 of What If Deku Was a Saiyan, and as always, if you guys enjoy, please show some love. Leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff, and I don't want to waste much more of your time, and I want to get right into it, so check the links in the description, you know, all that stuff, and also, yeah, that's all I really got to say, and let's get right into it. Let's get it. Tanjiro Kamado has met a ton of the Hashira, has met the master of all the Hashira, but there's one thing that he seeks after, and that is full-on proper training. Yes, Urokodaki gave him the training of a newbie, somebody who didn't really know what was going on, someone who needed to learn the basics, and Urokodaki did a fantastic job. But he's looking for real experience side by side with a Hashira. And well, there's some conversations that happen where they're like, okay, well, who wants to go with who? What's going on? And well, eventually they decide that, all right, how about this? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have you work here, train here with some people that are, very capable. We're gonna get some proper training in. We're gonna learn new techniques. And then after that, we'll send you on a mission with a Hashira. We don't know who just yet, but we'll figure that as we go. And Tanjiro would go a couple months of just training. And normally this would be your rehabilitation time, but him, Inosuke, and Zenitsu would be training like crazy. Like, that's all they'd be doing. And Tanjiro, he has like a different feel for the training. He's telling them and pushing them and making it so like, hey, this training, we're going to get the absolute most of it. And as Shinobu and many other Hashira are watching Tanjiro train and get stronger and get better and get more technical, they're in shock. They're thinking, whoa, okay, this kid is a prodigy. I mean, he is beyond what we expected, and he is beyond a lot of things that were possible, at least in a normal human. But they now understand that he is not a normal human. He is far from a normal human. And after those months of training, he is at a level that is pretty Hashira compared, or in terms of comparing to a Hashira, it's pretty damn close. But he still wants first-hand experience with the Hashira, and that would eventually lead him and his group, or Inosuke and Zenitsu, to go on a mission with Rengoku for the Mugen train. But here's the thing. During this mission, they have some issues to deal with. Now, for starters, you have, well, Enmu putting everybody to sleep, but that's not necessarily a big issue. After Tanjiro finds his way back, and after Tanjiro eventually wakes up, he would proceed to absolutely mop the floor with someone like Enmu, helping everybody out, making sure everything's okay, and making sure everyone is, fine. At this point, he's only utilizing water breathing. He has no idea that he could possibly utilize something else. His raw strength and power has carried him so far, and his training regimens have carried him even further. And at the end of the day, he feels massively prepared for some of the hardest fights you can think of. But Enmu, he isn't close to one of the hardest fights that could be imaginable. One of the hardest fights, well, is right over the horizon, and that is with the one and only Upper Moon 3 Akaza. And the thing is, Tanjiro had no idea he was coming, but Muzan looked at it as this was their real chance to take out Tanjiro before he gets too strong. And that is the reality, because Rengoku and Tanjiro face off with Akaza. Initially, Rengoku's thinking, hey, you gotta stay out of this. You gotta stay out of this, I'll handle it, blah, 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 I'm the Hashira. But Tanjiro tells him that he can help. He truly can. He knows it. He truly believes it to his core. He can help, in which eventually he gives in. And let's be honest, Rengoku is going to need it. The help with Tanjiro, and Tanjiro actually helping him, makes it so this fight is a lot more manageable to an extent. Rengoku does a lot better, especially with an Akaza who is treating this very seriously. He saw Muzan. He heard what he said. Muzan is fearful of this kid. He is fearful of Tanjiro Kamado. He knows he needs to take this seriously. He knows that this is life or death, and they go at it. Him, Rengoku versus Akaza, they go at it, and it's like a completely different level of a fight. Inosuke and Zenitsu watch in complete and utter awe And Tanjiro, he continues to diverge his eyes away from the full moon that is within the sky, because he knows that if he messes up, he could turn into a great ape and things could spiral out of control very, very quickly. And he keeps his eyes away from it, staying away from the full moon that is above them, and they continue fighting more and more. Akaza eventually would get a little bit of a separation from Rengoku and also Tanjiro, right? Separating Tanjiro and Rengoku, he would then go straight for the person that he believes would not be able to take the blow as well. At least not as well as, someone else could. And he would go straight for Rengoku. He would go straight for the kill on Rengoku, and Rengoku would barely be able to even react to this, but he would react just in time where he doesn't get completely just obliterated on the spot. And out of nowhere, Tanjiro comes out of just what seems to be literally nowhere and slices toward the neck of Akaza, trying to slice toward the neck, but Akaza would land a punch that shatters multiple ribs and then would throw him as far as possible, believing that he needs to literally section out this fight because them two together might become an actual issue. And he knows that. He can feel it, that this is becoming an issue. But as the fight continues, the sun is just waiting for its call, waiting for its arrival. And Akaza knows that if he goes back without a head, he goes back without the death of Tanjiro Kamado, it's no good for him. It's over. Everything that he ever wanted, everything that he's created, and every moment that he's made is all gone. It will go up in literal flames. He knows that he has to make this fight quick, but having Rengoku, who's a Hashira experienced fighter, and then Tanjiro, who is legitimately overpowering a lot of these moments, it's hard to find a moment where he can eliminate one of them on their own, and he doesn't know exactly what to do. And as he tries to gain that opening, as he tries to get that opening, Rengoku and Tanjiro would be basically making up for every single moment, every single inch. And frankly, they're making things a lot more difficult. Akaza's realizing that this is far from an easy fight. This is far from what this mission was supposed to be. But he knows that he can at least do something before the sun rises. He goes to basically strike Rengoku and injure him as much as possible, but Tanjiro would block it, getting in the way, and Rengoku would basically look for, or Akaza, would look for any opening to injure one of them drastically enough to where it's difficult for them to literally win this fight overall. And eventually he would land a blow once again to Tanjiro's stomach, and this time he would even, basically kind of punch through him. Now, not fully, but partially. And let's just say Tanjiro can feel it. He feels the power behind the punch, but he grabs his arm, unrelenting, and slices right toward his neck. Rengoku out of nowhere does the same, and Akaza, he's in shock. This can't be happening. I can't believe this is happening. But all he knows is that he needs one thing. And the kid in front of him, Tanjiro Kamado, needs to go. And he immediately would go for the ending blow. But the thing is, he believes that he's done enough. Because guess what? The sun is already rising, and he had no opportunity to get out of here anyways. So yes, he takes the L, going down here and burning into ash. But he believes that he defeated Tanjiro Kamado at least, and that in a one-on-one fight, this would have never happened. But at least he did the job. Yes, he falls here, and yes, he's defeated here, but at least Muzan will know that he did the job to get rid of Tanjiro Kamado. And, let's just say Tanjiro is extremely injured. Like, extremely injured. And Tanjiro doesn't know what to do, and his own head, he's like, what do I do? What's going on? Rengoku's coaching him through this as Akaza basically just burns away. He's coaching him, telling him what to do, make sure, to concentrate, use your breathing style, use all this, and that do not let yourself slip just yet. And as all this is happening, Tanjiro would get helped back to the Butterfly Mansion, and he would be legitimately getting better And it's odd because they're in shock. I mean, this should have killed him. This should be done. There's no way that this makes any sense, but it does. Tanjiro is not human. He heals better. He's different. His whole entire arsenal of DNA is different than theirs. They had no idea that he could survive such a beating and survive such a near-death experience. And that right there is something to think about, because guess what? As things begin to unfold, as Tengen, Inosuke, and Zenitsu go on their own missions to handle, the entertainment district, and as Tanjiro continues to recover, eventually he would recover. Now, it wouldn't be fully, because, there's no healing chambers or anything like that, but he would heal to a good degree. He would be somewhat healed, or healed to an extent where he's good. Like, he can train, he can work out, he can, do a little bit of something so he can get back into shape. But what all of them are realizing, that his strength has amplified by, they have no idea how many times. But he's stronger, he's faster, he's everything. And this is him not fully recovered. They can't believe it, but they should. Because whatever he is, whatever being he is, whatever alien he is, he just got stronger from a near-death experience. And let's just say Muzan's in for a rude awakening, because in his eyes, he believed that there was a world where Tanjiro doesn't make it out of this, that he wouldn't make it out at all, but he would really have a bad awakening, or really have a bad thing going on in his own head when he sees from one of his own demons that Tanjiro has made a full recovery. He doesn't know what to do. He can't get it through his own head. Akaza couldn't defeat this kid, and supposedly he's stronger now. He's not saying that him and Akaza are even close on a level, but Tanjiro's power, it seems to have shot up to the degree that, can he really take on me? And he's saying this to himself, like, he's questioning himself. Is this really who I fear so much? Is this a reincarnation of Yorichi? Is this him? Is this the man that made me suffer for so many years, tens of hundreds of thousands of years? Is this him? Just come back once again? He questions himself. Does he leave? Does he get out of here? Does he hide once again? He doesn't know. He has no idea. But what he does know is that they have their own missions, their own ideas, and that is including attacking the Swordsmith's village. And while Tanjiro, after all his training and preparing and all that stuff, they send him straight there for a new sword and some new training regimen because of how well he's progressing. And let's just say Muzan, well, he would be in a really bad spot. Because yes, the attack on the entire kind of Swordsmith's village would ensue. It would, with Hontengu and Gyoko. But the thing is, he wasn't truly understanding what it meant for Tanjiro to be here, because Hontengu doesn't stand a chance. It's not even a close fight. Yes, he has other versions of himself, and Tanjiro does cut through those, and cuts through them very quickly. Even a more crazy and deranged version of him. But Tanjiro, as he has progressed and as his fighting skills have basically elevated, he realizes the real Hontengu and where it is, and he's able to slice it before anything ensues. And he even gets to the fight of Gyoko and Muchiro before it even ends. And Tanjiro is there. Gyoko would stare at him, yes, in a more kind of confident way, but at the same time, he would see things. He would see Yorichi. He would see the absolute destruction. And not only that, he would see an upper moon be defeated. And guess what? It was a sacrifice to get rid of you, Tanjiro Kamado, but it didn't work. How did it not work? And Gyoko would find his neck straight to another blade. Tanjiro's or not, it wouldn't matter. The demons that showed up on this day, the demons that showed up in the Swordsmith's village, would be obliterated, destroyed. And before the sun would even come up, the demons would be handled, and would be put away for good and would be sent to the afterlife. And Nezuko herself, she wouldn't even get an opportunity to truly conquer the sun. But here's the thing. They don't need the opportunity to conquer the sun. They're coming up with a cure for Nezuko. And yes, Muzan has his questions, believing that maybe, just maybe, she is the key. She is the key to his immortality. And maybe she is the key to really doing so much more. But he doesn't know that anymore. He wouldn't know that, not in this scenario. All he does know is that Tanjiro might just set him back thousands of years. And he doesn't know if the right idea is to really send more people out there, to send, higher level demons from your, Kokushibbo, or even maybe your Domas. These two are insanely powerful. These two are insanely, strong. But should they do this? Should they send those demons out there when they don't know exactly what will happen and what will ensue? Because they may be just too weak to take on Tanjiro Kamado. They don't know, or he doesn't know. He's not sure, but he does know is something needs to happen now, because they're either going to wait another 1,000 years, or they need to take him out before it becomes impossible to defeat him. So yes, immediately the demons would ensue in an attack. Muzan would look for any opening, and this would send obviously Tanjiro and all the demon slayers into a frenzy, especially after going through a long-winded training that has been preparing them for a moment like this. But the thing is, Tanjiro has already taken out Akaza. Akaza is off the board, and there's a lot of other demons and all that other demons there that Tanjiro could definitely help with. But there's one demon, a singular one, that Tanjiro has his eyes on, and one that would take out so many, but one that could be stopped and limited in how many demon slayers he's going to take out, and that is Kokushibbo. Kokushibbo is going to be the true test to see what Tanjiro is made of. But after an entire Hashira training, Tanjiro has mastered water breathing and even has shown glimpses of sun breathing, and has shown little bits of this specifically. But there's something else that is brewing within Tanjiro, something else that he hasn't shown at all. And when he steps in front of Kokushibbo, he would tell the others to stand aside, that, well, they fear him like they feared Yorichi himself. But here's the thing. Tanjiro is not Yorichi, and he tells Kokushibbo that I am not Yorichi. But one thing you should know, and one thing you should be scared of, is that fact specifically, that I am not that one demon slayer that made people curl and hide in a corner for so long. I may not be him, but I am different, and I am something of a legend. And as he tells this to Kokushibbo, he would attack Tanjiro. And Tanjiro immediately pulls out his sword. And as he does, a glow would ensue around the sword. And it would be covered in something known as ki. A ki blade would ensue. A ki blade that has been basically soaking up the power of the sun itself. Any solar radiation itself, we've been soaking it in, and he's been practicing this for a long time. And this blade, he has full control over. It's a large blade, one that can basically never be missed, but at the same time, it's gonna be extremely difficult to deal with, even though there is no issues with weight movement in terms of the blade being so large. And Kokushibbo, he feels it immediately. He can understand. He understands what Muzan was scared of and what he was so fearful of. And frankly, He questions why he sent Akaza that day. Because if he didn't, if he sent him, maybe they wouldn't be dealing with this issue. Maybe Tanjiro would not be a factor. Maybe Tanjiro would have been defeated. Maybe Tanjiro would have been in the dust and all behind them. And let's just say he tries everything. Everything in the book. Even basically forcing Tanjiro to try to protect his fellow Demon Slayer because of how good of a person he is. He does. But it doesn't matter. Even with those opportunities, none of them are enough. And yes, Tanjiro doesn't come out unscathed, and he does get hurt here and there, but it's pretty obvious who's winning this battle, and eventually Tanjiro is deemed and known as the winner of this fight, and the Upper Moon 1 is defeated, and all the other demons follow suit, especially when they know that there's nothing else that they can do. But there's one demon, one singular one, that has an obvious kind of choice to make. A choice to be made by the one and only Muzan. And what choice is he truly going to make? That choice will change everything forever. Because Muzan, well, he would decide to run, to get out of there, even sooner than normal. Normally, they would fight all the way till the sun will rise. But no, Muzan tries to escape almost immediately. Tanjiro is relentless, though. All the Demon Slayers are relentless, forcing him to stay out as long as possible. And Tanjiro, well, he would do everything in his possible, being to stop Muzan, and would even land a blow that cuts his head straight off. But obviously Muzan is not defeated. Muzan has conquered that aspect of being a demon. But even so, even with that being said, his regeneration is flawed. It's this energy blade that Tanjiro has created. It is unworldly. It is nothing he has seen of thousands of years. He has no idea what to do, where it's come from, and how to even handle it. And it would slow him down so much that he has very little he can do until that sun would eventually show up. The sun would eventually arrive, and there is no sacrifices. There is no, well, I'm going to try to last minute take Tanjiro and, kind of make him the strongest demon you could think of and all this other stuff. No. Because Tanjiro's level has been elevated too much, and it's all because of Muzan. And that right there, as Muzan is slipping away, going on to the afterlife, Tanjiro tells him just that. Tanjiro tells him, in full sincerity, that he's the one that created this monster. He's the one that created the Saiyan warrior. The warrior that defeats the king of all demons. And Muzan, as he disintegrates, has to literally watch the face of Tanjiro, as he's the one that created this monster, created this person that was going to defeat him. He could have taken other measures, stopped Tanjiro, ended all this. He wishes that he never showed up that day to try and turn Nezuko into a demon. He wishes he just waited another 1,000 years. Whatever, how much long he needed to wait, he wished that he waited it. Because now, everything he's worked for goes straight down the drain. Tanjiro watches as the man that he's been fighting disappears into nothing, and so many other demon slayers, ones that had their lives put on the line and ones that believed that their life on the line was worth it, survive and are allowed to have that happy ending in a world that is full of treachery, destruction, and death. All of these demon slayers, from Hashira to the lowest of the low demon slayers you can think of, they're allowed to have their happy ending. They're allowed to truly be something more than just a demon slayer. But with that said, that is the end of What If Tanjiro Was a Saiyan. And if you enjoyed, please show some love. Leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. I actually want to do more Tanjiro What Ifs. I've been actually enjoying them. And yes, I'm going to start going into the manga. I know I skipped over a couple things, but I just thought, like, for story purposes, it'd be cool to do certain things. So I decided to do them. Now, with that said, not every video is going to have every arc, but not every video is going to be missing any arcs. I just want you guys to know that. I'm going to do all the way to the manga now, just because I'm like, I've read the manga. We all know that we're basically coming up on basically the end of Demon Slayer as an anime. So I thought, you know what? Why not? Let's do it as a full thing. I know people have been asking for it, so I got y'all. I'm going to start doing it like that. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but we'll see very soon. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for such a late upload, but I hope you guys still enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, leave a sub, leave a comment down below, all that good stuff. And I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.